Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? Welcome to another Marvel Retro Review here on the Pack Photos YouTube channel. And tonight's unboxing video and retro review is of the Spider-Man Manga Spider-Man with wall crawling action from Toybiz. This came out in 2002, and I believe this Spider-Man line was released prior to the Marvel Legends initial line. Even though these figures aren't part of the Marvel Legends line, they were still 6-inch scale. And also the cool thing about these lines that came out right before Marvel Legends that were in the 6-inch scale was they had these cool little gimmicks to them. Like this one is the wall crawling one. And the cool thing about it, it comes with like a brick wall. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. But first, like we always do with the channel, let's get started with the box art first. So on the front of the packaging, you see the image of Spider-Man at the top right here. You see the Spider-Man logo on the bottom, Manga Spider-Man with wall crawling action. And then of course you see the price tag that I paid for Toy Department. It was 28 bucks. In my opinion, that's not a bad deal at all. Also shout outs to Toy Department. If you're ever in the Ohio area, I highly recommend checking them out. And on the back of the packaging, like you've seen before in my other retro reviews of Toybiz boxes, you can see there's a lot of things going on here. I do appreciate the simplistic designs now of Marvel figures, especially the Legends line. But yeah, let's go and get started with the box art in the back. On the top of the packaging, you see the Spider-Man logo, Manga Spider-Man underneath with wall crawling action. And there's a little read-up on Spider-Man. Feel free to pause it if you want to go ahead and read it. And to the right of it, you see the little gimmick action that it comes with. And then as we move to the middle of the box, you see there's the step-by-step directions, how to install the wall that he comes with. And then on the right side, you see 3 other figures in this wave. Even though there's just 3 being shown right now, there was a handful of other figures they had for the Spider-Man wave. But it starts with the superposable Spider-Man, which was going for mad money in the aftermarket, and I still think it is. Then you see the Morbius figure, and then this is kind of a funny one, Scuba Splash Spider-Man. You know, I have to give it to Toybiz. They always, thought outside of the box when it comes to these stupid cheesy gimmicks when it came to their action figures, like a Scuba Splash Spider-Man. That's pretty insane. Then you see the box towards the left. It's the Toybiz worldwide toll-free customer service number. I'm pretty sure that number no longer works. I'd have to check on that because I wonder if that's Hasbro's customer support number. But you see Marvel.com website, which is definitely still running. But yeah, enough about that. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with Manga Spider-Man, this is essentially Marvel's response to the popular anime wave during the late 90s, early 2000s with hits like Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, etc. So Marvel created their own Marvel Mangaverse in early 2000s, and this was their response with Manga Spider-Man. This is Peter Parker in Earth 2301, but essentially the origin of his story was that he was the last member of the Spider Clan, and his uncle was killed by Venom, who was working under the tutelage of Kingpin and Kujikuri. Now, I won't delve too deep into this storyline, but if you want to check it out, it is available online to read. But enough about the box art and the origins of Manga Spider-Man. Let's go ahead and get him out of the packaging. All right, here's Manga Spider-Man out of the packaging. Let's get started with trying to assemble his accessory first. All right, so here are all the pieces, and I believe first things first, we have to attach these 2 pieces together. And then, oopsies, break the damn thing. Line it up again. Okay, now that's connected. This part right here goes on the bottom. So there's little pegs, just pop it on. All right, so then these 2 attach pipes like that, and there's these little pegs right here that connect to the side of this. So I believe, wait, it might be going the other way. Let's reference this instruction sheet right here. So okay, so this goes in the bottom. Got it. And just to show, the pegs are really small, so you have to be very careful plugging them in. It's very tiny, so there we go. It's just damn thing break. No, I think it should be good. There we go. Okay, and there's the pipe. Fuck. I forgot to put this shit first. Okay, there it is. Fuck. That's why reading comprehension is key, y'all. But there it is. And then if you see right here, it has these little 3 slots. That is for Manga Spider-Man to stick this area in there so he can crawl up the wall. But before we do that, let's take a look at the figure. Now, when we take a look at the figure itself, this is probably the most Toybiz looking figure I've ever seen. What I mean by that is it's The articulation's a little strange, but it's very innovative for its time. Single jointed elbows. There isn't a wrist swivel, which I'm surprised. But then again, not really, because then if there's a wrist swivel, then it might mess up when trying to do that whole wall crawling gimmick thing. But it does move around, like with the shoulder swivel, single jointed elbows. The head can't really look, it can kind of look up and down, can go side to side. You see the little Spider-Man logo in there. That's how it looked like in the comics. It's a little faded, given that it's probably about, well, yeah, it's about 20 years old now. And then you see the little Spider-Man backpack on the back. His legs do go that far out. It does have a single jointed knee joint. There isn't any ankle articulation at all. And this is cool. Even though like it has like the cuts right there, you can still kind of bend his legs out like that. Now let's try to use this gimmick on here. So on the back you have this, and literally it says on the box, it's loud as shit, but on the back of the box it says to rock the Spider-Man head dial on the back of the wall from side to side while lifting up the dial, lifting the dial up for wall crawling action. So let's go and try this out. So now that I have it up there, you just basically lock this in. If I can get the damn thing on there. There we go. Probably have to lift it a little higher. So there he is, attached, one-handed. This is such a cheesy gimmick. And there he is. He wins the... Yeah, that is funny. Okay, let's try attaching both of them on there. Not every gimmick was like a hit for Toybiz, but I mean, they're fun when, like, in hindsight, when looking back on it. And now that I see this, I get why they did that type of, like, kind of like wrist hinge the way they did. So now let's go ahead and put Spider-Man back down and have him rise back up. Yeah, that would make for interesting stop motion. I might actually do that. And now that I see it like this is actually a cool little accessory piece. I get like the gimmick and all that, but this is actually pretty cool for toy photography. So I'll definitely do some shots like this. But yeah, it's a fun little cheesy gimmick, but this actually ended up working well because you can do a lot of shots with this. All right, now we're going to jump right into size comparisons. And first size comparison here is Manga Spider-Man. Next, a couple of Into the Spider-Verse characters. We have Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, Miles Morales, and Peter B. Parker. And if anything, I feel like this Manga Spider-Man would be on point for like what they do with Into the Spider-Verse. I would like to see him in the movie. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. And next size comparison here is standing next to a couple of retro carded figures. We have the Retro Spider-Man and the Armored Spider-Man. And next size comparison here is standing next to more Marvel Legends figures. We have the Walmart exclusive upgraded suit Spider-Man and the PS4 Gamerverse Miles Morales Spider-Man that I've kit bashed with Donald Glover's head sculpt. Reason being is, I don't know if y'all remember, there was a campaign in the early 2010s to make Donald Glover the next Spider-Man. There was a hashtag Donald for Spider-Man actually trending on Twitter a lot. And the reason being is because a lot of people wanted to see him as the next Spider-Man, and the creator of Miles Morales was actually inspired by Donald Glover's look on Community when he wore the Spider-Man outfit. And next size comparison, here he is standing next to more Marvel Legends. We have the Marvel Legends MJ from the 2-pack with Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming and the homemade Spider-Man suit. And last size comparison, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Stan Lee.
Finally, I'm not the shortest Spider-Man anymore.
Oh, this makes me very mad.
All right, some overall thoughts on the figures. I definitely like it. Through the lens of a collector today, especially at the price point I paid for it, $28, I definitely think it was worth it, especially since it was new in box. I did see on the aftermarket on eBay, this thing was going for like $60 to $70 in box. I don't recommend buying it if it's for that much. If you can get it loose, I think it was like $20 to $30. That's probably not a bad price point in my opinion, especially because it comes with this cool little diorama wall crawling piece. The gimmick is definitely fun, and it's kind of reminiscent of how Toybiz was. They dared to try new things like these crazy gimmicks. In some cases it paid off, some cases it didn't. But in terms of the lens of a collector from 2002, I would have most certainly said it would have been a dope figure and a dope purchase back then too. Because I think these were at price point at like $7.99 to $9.99, and for that price point, you definitely got a lot of bang for your buck, especially with this little accessory piece or this big accessory piece that it comes with. It's definitely going to come into play when I do toy photography or ACBA shots. And in terms of the Spider-Man itself, the only thing I would have done is add a wrist swivel, but I understand why Toybiz engineered it the way it did. And overall, it's still a pretty good looking figure. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, YouTubers. What do you think about this figure? Did you have this growing up, or did you pick this up back in the day when they had their Spider-Man line from Toybiz? And what do you think about Manga Spider-Man and the Into the Spider-Verse movies? I feel like this is like their realm if they were ever to introduce him. But I don't know if the popularity is there for them to like recognize his character. But yeah, sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And like always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.